let me raise this other question, though. The one part of this thing that's troubling to me in all the ganging up on Polanski, which I gang up on Polanski. I think he's horrible. But here we stipulate that. Okay. But let's look at, this woman now, Samantha Geimer, the victim. Now, she has asked that this thing all be now passed over. And she's asked for it for a legitimate reason. She's a woman in her 40s now with children of her own. She is about to go through a second rape, I'm sorry to say, for her, because what does she need this now? And I have tremendous empathy for that.
She need not go to court. No, she need not go to court. For my sins is one, but I am no longer a lawyer. I have not practiced. But, however, the charges which he faces, those charges are done, and he's been convicted. This will be a warrant skip. This will be fugitive warrants.
Yeah, indeed. But as we well know, this is going to be a media feeding fest, and it's going to bring up the whole thing all over again. This woman whose kids are in school, it's going to be, look, it's going to be horrible for her, and I feel bad for that. I really do.
The pain that will be visited upon her is not caused by the legal system. That pain is caused by those who are springing his defense and making it a cause célèbre. If everyone had a decent moral grounding and simply said, what he did was wrong and evil, he goes to jail.
That's it.
It would go through the papers in one day and it would be forgotten.
And
the people who signed this document,
here in Poliwood and elsewhere, this will not happen.
They're going to drag it out. They're going to defend him. He's going to become the martyr.
Yes.
She will inevitably, therefore, become the evil person. Whether she forgives him or not, she has to do it. So these are the people who are visiting pain upon her, not the legal system.
David Lynch defending him.
David
Lynch has
a moral paragon, as far as I know.
And children and grandchildren.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry for her, and I blame those people for that pain.
Lots of children. I mean, I'll tell you something. It's a sad spectacle that we're going to have to be observing for a while.
And you know, and they could not find it in their hearts, any of these people, to condemn the man who cut off Van Gogh's head on an Amsterdam Street. I come back to that every week. Every week we come back. Well, we come back to it, either you or I, every week.
Yeah.
They are so selective in their moral outrage. Murder for making an honest film,
about
being
Islam.
murdered for honest film. It's another culture. It's like Jermaine Greer defending clitorectomies.
Right.
You know, I mean, they are so bankrupt that we're not going to have anything to talk about pretty soon. Mind you, soon the screenings are coming. Take Faith audience soon. We'll be talking about this crop of movies.
Yeah.
But
it's amazing. Where are all these people on Theo Van Gogh, the murder of Theo Van Gogh? Where is Bernard-Henri Lévy? Where is Neil Jordan?
What is wrong with Bernard-Henri Lévy?
I mean, Steven Soderbergh has got his name on there. What is he defending?
He's defending, I think, I'm going to say, they're defending the potential, their own potential exposure for future behavior. Do you know what I mean?
I think
they want to protect the nomenclature. In other words, they're on the nomenclature. All these people believe, or would like to be, on that list.
Now,
that list you can shop at the GUM department store
I don't think, well, to be fair, I think you're right, although I think very few of them are drugging 13-year-old girls.
No.
That's pretty
But
sweet.
they are on the list, and you want to be on the list. And so part of it says, listen, Roman, and he's one of us.
This is the list they want to be.
And you want
we wanted to be on the list defending the Israelis at the Toronto Film Festival.
At the Toronto, yes. I wanted to be on that list. I went out of my way to get on that list. And got others, and trying to organize for it. I felt that was something I wanted to say because I felt very strongly about it. These people surely can't feel strongly about defending the right of middle-aged men to drug and then anally rape 13-year-old girls. Therefore, it must be something else. It must be his status that they're trying to protect.
Yeah. There's some sad names on this list. Claude Lanzmann, who made the film Shoah. Isn't that sad to see that there?
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Because Claude Lanzmann is the guy who I quote all the time, who asked this incredible question about the Holocaust. When was it too late? He surely understands that we're talking about Western civilization here.
Yeah.
When is it too late? I mean, that really is. However, when you look at the list, you realize that the French intelligentsia have mounted a huge defense of Roman Polanski. But
here's one of the
that's a sub-story.
Yes, a sub-story, but here's an interesting part of that sub-story. I just read this morning. Le Figaro conducted a poll of the French public.
Only worthwhile French newspaper.
And the French public is 70% against Polanski. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And also in Italy, there's a similar movement going on, of course, of the intelligentsia in quotes, with Giuseppe Tornatore, the director, in the lead, and again, a poll was conducted of the public, and they were opposed to Polanski. It's fascinating. It's the same in Europe as it is here. You know, people who consider themselves special, a la Whoopi Goldberg and Woody Allen.
Which has the 13. Yeah. You know, Scott Rasmussen is writing a book about the disconnect between the political classes and the elites and the people, where he's looking at various subjects and seeing taking opinion polling amongst the elite and then in the population at large, because the disconnect is enormous. Apparently, they're living in two different worlds: the people and the elites. And you know what? We have to try and see if he will pay his attention to this, because this would be very interesting. To look at the elites. How do you feel about Roman Polanski? And I mean, obviously, we see how Hollywood feels about it.
Yeah. And what defines an elite? I mean, an elite is a self-described term. Almost.
Well, you can define
yourself as an elite.
Well, a political elite is identifiable by virtue of the office they hold, either elective or in the apparatus of a party, I suppose. How do you get? Well, this is a good question, because how do you get to be part of
this is a different form. This is not.
You get on a list like this.
Exactly. This is a different form of elite.
We had people who wanted to get on.
Although there are some politicians on this list, like Bernard Kouchner. You know, all these people who consider themselves great liberals,
Bernie Sanders,
to me, are reactionaries. You know what? I think we should wrap it up here, because this is going to be a continued discussion. There's no question that this case is here for a few weeks, months, who knows how long. Polanski's still in jail in Switzerland. We don't know what's going to happen. One of the mysteries, by the way, that we should try to look into, and I have some hints, as I told you earlier, and I didn't want to say it on television, is how, in the first place, did Polanski get out of the country?
Who got him out of the country?
Who got him out of the country?
Okay.
Second question is, why did it take so long to get this guy? He almost hid in plain sight. I mean, he is... You know, this is not some terrorist lurking in the mountains of Afghanistan. This was a guy making $50 million films and living on the left bank.
And why did they move now? There was an article maybe in Le Figaro or maybe in Le Monde, I don't know, it's the only two, I think it was in French, which suggested that he was taunting.
Yes, there's some of that. That's part of it.
Have you heard that?
Yes, I've heard that.
And they finally said, taunt me no more.
I think we should get some people on the show to discuss with this who know inside stories, because there's a whole narrative involved in this.
Well, you're a crime writer. You're one of the great crime writers.
Well, this is an interesting crime story, really.
It really is.
Big, not the actual event itself, which is tawdry and obvious.
No, the circumstances.
But the circumstances, and then what followed, and how he got away with it for so long, and that's the interesting part. Anyway, this is Roger Simon
and Lionel Chetwynd.
Till next time.